In this series, what we're doing is we're looking at a story or a parable that Jesus told that gives us some insight as to why sometimes the things that God wants to grow in you don't grow as fast or as quickly as you would hope. What he did is Jesus told a parable or a story about a farmer who's scattering some seeds and it falls on different types of soil. And today he tells us the picture, or shows us the picture, and explains what it means when the seed or the work that God wants to do falls on some rocky soil. Here's what Jesus explained. He said, "The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy." And maybe that describes you. There was a time in your life where maybe you didn't know entirely who God was or who Jesus was and what he did to you. And you can think back to that moment where it dawned on you that the punishment that you should have received from God was transferred onto Jesus in your stead. Or maybe there was a moment in your life where the gospel, that good news of Jesus, just went out into every corner of your life and you felt a peace you had never felt before. But unfortunately, that didn't last for long. Jesus goes on. He says, it refers to someone who hears the word at once and receives it with joy, but since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. And as a pastor, I see this to this day, where people, as they come in and they hear this good news of Jesus, they have this spark, this fire going on in their heart and in their life. But pretty soon, reality sets in. A lot of the things that give you joy can also be a target for trouble or persecution. And persecution isn't just when people physically attack you. It can be as simple as people belittling you because they know your past and they know God can't work on a person like you. Or persecution could take the form of simply people at your workplace now honoring you less because you're not willing to do the things you were willing to do before. Suddenly, this faith that gave you hope is now a target. And as you feel people's eyes on you, persecuting you, you just feel that joy fading and withering away. So there's three things that I want you to know when it comes to your faith and hope in God. Number one, when God plants a good seed in you and when he starts to transform an area of your life, sometimes you will benefit immediately from it. I believe when you put into practice what your Creator intended for you, it'll have a good impact on your life. But the second thing you need to know is that sometimes when God plants a seed in your life and it starts to take root, it will be difficult at first, but it will pay off later. You'll have to invest at first, but then you'll receive more later. And the third thing you have to be aware of is that sometimes when God plants a seed in your heart, there will be no payback ever. It will be an area of your life where he is calling you to sacrifice. And you will never on this side of heaven see anything positive come from it. But as you consider that, here's what I want you to know. Whatever God plants in you is good. If he wants to bring transformation and change, it is good. Good for him, good for you, good for your eternity. And what if the thing that he planted in you, though it's difficult, what if the reason he planted it there is because that is your greatest opportunity to make an impact in your world?